It's Dale here. I just thought today's inspiration, I would just talk about something that I really have enjoyed doing and working on over the years. This is one of my favourite books ever. It's called The Stones of Venice. I'm not sure where I even found it, maybe when I was in England or something like that. You can see that I've, copied pages out of it and things, but it's just absolutely wonderful, full of, you never find some of them when you want them, but look at the images and the look at that texture and so on, and how beautiful all the photos are. And I've used lots of these photos as inspiration to do things. Of course, when I want them, I can never quite find them. But if you're doing 3D things or things for layering over the top for features, I've used, let's have a look here. I can only inspire you to get some ideas here, but this one here I've used for raised surfaces, and here just keep coming back into it all the time, but look, the lovely tiles are just divine, and so on. I've used this for another feature for something else that I did. It's coming back into those stone colours and the tiles and so on. So it's probably still around. Look at that, isn't that just glorious? And it could be for stitching or painting or anything that you want to do. So I've used one of the pieces, so yeah, and this is one of the images that I've copied from it. So it's the join, and I photocopied, I loaded it onto my computer and I printed it off onto tissue text. And just to remind you, tissue text, which is also known, its real name is abaca paper. It's a fibrous paper, comes from the abaca tree, and I just sell it as tissue text, which is just a commercial name. It's also known as conservation paper. It's because it's a fibrous paper, and when you, this is the very fine one we have. Can you see how transparent it is? And when you apply it onto surfaces, you can see through, so it's fabulous on the jelly plate, for instance, and I know people have other ones, but this is the one I like, and you can see the fibres if you look in there. And I use it in all sorts of ways with my silk strippings and so on. So that's the tissue text. So this is another one that I use a lot, which is what we call tissue text plus, and it's a heavier grade, but it's really, really good for printing on. I do print on both of them, but this one's easy to print on because it's much thicker. So that's it. And just here, when you use it, this is nothing to do with similar colours, of course. This is Ian's great-grandmother. I'm just playing on the jelly plate and how good it is to image transfer onto it with other layers. So that's the tissue text plus. You can feel it. I mean, you can get other, like the wet strength tissues and things, but I really like this. And then I will bond it to a surface and I'll stitch on it. And what I've done here from this particular painting that I have is that I made one of my little books, and I used this printout. I printed it onto tissue text plus the heavier one, and then I bonded it to a very thin layer of Vilene and stitched all over it, so you can see the stitchings. And then I put it through my die machine. I have a hexagon die, and I bonded it, but before I did that, I bonded it to the back, which is actually, I ironed scrim onto the back of it. Tea stain, walnut ink stain for the back. And then I put it through the machine and made it into a little book. And you can see my little flower stitches to use to link up all around. I stitched around the whole lot with a metallic thread. That's the FS Black Jewel in a copper. And then I just linked it all together to make one of my little concertina books. I do like these little books, and folds up, and there you have it. So that's just one interpretation. I've used this type of thing for lots of different effects. I've also used it in my family stuff, but the tissue text in both of its weights is fabulous. You can colour it, and you can you can dye it. Sometimes we have dyed and so on. So there, I hope that's just a little idea that you might flow with when you're thinking of something in a block. So thanks very much. We'll see you again next time. Bye.